Hey guys, so today I wanted to show you an example of how I decorate a bin cage to be super enriching for a hamster. I'm going to be putting a dwarf hamster in here. It's either, I think it's a Sunfire Campbell's Russian Dwarf. I don't know exactly. I adopted it from someone on Craigslist who definitely loved their hamster. They just didn't have the right information. And if you want to hear more about that, I will talk about it at the end of the video. But until then, please enjoy this enclosure build. So I'm starting out with this big bin cage. It's about 455 square inches, so it'll be okay for a dwarf hamster. And then this is the big sand bath. It does look dirty. It's just stained. Trust me, I washed it and baked it to make sure there's no germs or anything on it. But this is a big sand bath from Night Angel. And then these are the two wheels I'm going between, an 8.5 inch Ferris wheel or a 8-inch flying saucer wheel. And I think I ended up going with the flying saucer wheel because there wasn't enough space in the bin cage height wise for the Ferris wheel style wheel. So I kind of go back and forth trying to make the Ferris wheel style wheel work because those are harder for the hamsters to tip over, but it didn't end up working. So this flying saucer wheel is totally fine as well for them. I just have to fix it every morning because for some reason it tips over all the time. I also have this little house hut thing. I don't remember who it's by, but I like it because it's big enough for even a Syrian, so I can kind of use it between different sizes of animals. And I do have a Russian dwarf going in here that I rescued. And then I have this little house that is from Boggle Buddies, Emiology's online store. I have a couple different sizes of bendy bridges. I love bendy bridges for dwarf hamsters because it makes it easy for them to get in and out of different enclosed spaces, like the sand bath, for instance. And it also makes it easier for them to get to their water bottle because a lot of times you can't put the water bottle low enough. I'm using actually I think this is KT Clean and Cozy in just the normal brown natural color. This is always the cheapest one, and since I have to buy so much bedding, I just get whatever's the cheapest. I think I ended up using about half of the bag. I think these are like 85-liter bags or something around there. And I used about half the bag. I ended up having 3 to 4 inches of bedding depth in different parts of the cage. The minimum was 3, and then over on the other side it ended up being about 4. Just to make sure that the ham has lots of spaces to burrow and dig. I would like to get this hamster moved up to a 40-gallon breeder if I can get room. But for now, I just wanted to show a great way to make a really fun, interactive, enriching bin cage that's still above the minimum, just not above, crazy above and beyond like I usually like to do. This is just barely above the minimum, but I still wanted to show you how I can make a super fun, enriching cage that keeps the hamster entertained and gives him lots of stuff to do. I decided the best place to put this flying saucer wheel is on this little house. It provides that hole for the hamster to get up through or go down under, and she can't bury the wheel in the bedding. However, she does manage to flip it over every day, so every day I have to put it back up. So there probably is a better place to put it. I'm kind of playing around with areas, but so far it's either been like buried or flipped, so maybe she's just a crazy runner. And then I have this little ghost house that I got from Ross, I think, and then I'm using this black Repti sand. Repti sand is usually what I use for my hamster sand baths, and this is just the color that my local pet store had. So she's getting a spooky cage in the middle of March. The one downside to the black sand is it's a lot harder to see if there's poops or anything in there. So what I like to do is just take like a sifter like once a week or once every week and a half and sift through so the clean sand can be reused and the dirty sand can be thrown away. So that's a pro tip. And then I decided to use this bridge as like a little hidey house for the underneath section, and then also a way to get up to that little cabin up there. I also used this little tin. This is from the Dollar Tree at Target, or the dollar section at Target. Most of the spare stuff I had was Halloween themed because I have the most Halloween little toys and hides and stuff. Again, another dollar section from Target. Pumpkin house. I also filled this little circle bowl with KT soft granule bedding. This just gives another texture for the hamster to be able to dig and like play in, I guess. I like to mix food in here, so she has to like dig it out and find it as a source of enrichment. I ended up shoving the little pumpkin house full of hay I use for my hamsters, the KT, I can't remember what it's called. It's the KT soft hay in the purple bag. I use that for my hamsters, and then I just use normal Timothy hay for my mice. I also decided to sprinkle some of this KT like Feed and Wild natural herb mix around. I don't give this to my small animals very often, but just since it was going to be her first day, I wanted to encourage her to go around the whole cage and like explore it and check it out, have fun. So I wanted to make her comfortable and give her something to do. And then I also threw in a couple freeze-dried mealworms. I do not feed these to any of my reptiles. I only give them to my rodents every once in a while. They have a lot of protein, so they're not awesome for them. But again, it's a great way to get her to kind of explore and feel a little more comfortable in the enclosure. And this is a Whimsy Chew. My dwarf hamsters usually absolutely love Whimsy Chews. I haven't had much success with my Syrian hamsters, but the dwarfs do. I'm also going to put in a little bit of this millet spray. This is a good foraging tactic as well. I would not suggest ever putting one of those full like strands of it because that's a lot. But I like to just break it up and put a little bit of pieces in there. And again, I don't normally feed this much. This is just like an initial setup. I also have some flax seeds just to encourage exploring and enrichment, and to make her feel more comfortable in the enclosure. My main diet is Higgins Sunburst and Missouri Rat and Mouse blocks mixed. And then this is just a little cat house I got from Chewy in the small animal section. Just a little another hidey hole. I realized a lot of them are like orange circles, so I decided to mix it up a little bit and move. I think I swapped the pumpkin. Yeah, the pumpkin and the soft granule just to make it a little more pleasing on the eye. I know the hamster won't care at all what it looks like, but I thought, just for my personal sake, I would do that because there's a lot of orange going on in here. So this is kind of just an overview of what I did to make my 450 square inch bin cage a lot more enriching and showing you don't have to have a huge, big, expensive enclosure to have a happy little ham. So again, here's an overview. If you have any questions, please let me know in the comments and I'll get back to you. And here is a picture of little Nugget in her new enclosure. Okay, so now on to the talking about the hamster. So I was in the lookout for Craigslist. I like to keep an eye on Craigslist just to see if there's any animals. And I saw this little hamster who was in the fire truck, like the big fire truck PetSmart cage, which is not the appropriate enclosure for a hamster. It's definitely not as unsafe as a Syrian hamster being in there, but it doesn't provide the correct square footage or bedding depth or really anything for a hamster. This person definitely really loved their animal and they were only giving it away because it was stressing, like they were getting stressed out. The dog and the hamster were both getting stressed out. So they decided to rehome their hamster. The cage was very clean. They had all of these very expensive items. They just were not the most practical or appropriate care. So I went and picked up the hamster and all of its stuff. There was no rehoming fee. They just wanted their hamster to be in a good home. So I went and got it. I do still have the fire truck. It's in my trunk right now. I do not plan on reselling it or using it. I was suggested maybe using it as like a cage while I'm cleaning another cage, but it's just so massive and ginormous. That's so unpractical. So unfortunately, I will probably be taking it to the dump. I don't really like wasting and just throwing good stuff away, but I don't feel comfortable giving it to someone and then being part of the neglect that so many hamsters, meet their fate. So that is how I got her. Her name is Nugget. That's the name she came with. She does look like a little chicken nugget. So I hope you liked this video and that you'd like to see more videos of Nugget. I probably will end up keeping Nugget. I don't plan on rehoming her. The same day I actually did rescue 2 Syrian hamsters that were in the complete opposite care and condition. They were absolutely horribly mistreated, so that video will be coming next week. I don't plan on keeping those hamsters. I just wanted to get them out of the situation. I want to rehabilitate them and get them to some proper homes. So if you'd like to see that, make sure you subscribe to stay tuned. And until then, hope you guys have a great week. Bye.